time you play so smooth, makes me wanna groove. Patrice says groove. Every time you play so
Welcome to Seniors Matter. I'm Brenda Charles Edwards, the host of Seniors Matter. We're live on Fridays at 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on www.rainieravenueradio.world, your community radio station. You can also listen to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch TV, Twitter, and of course on the Rainier Avenue Radio App. We feature interviews with people that provide services or have valuable information for seniors, their families, and the community. Do you need financial documents notarized? Are you a person that needs documents read to you for clarity or completion? Call me, Brenda, at Black Orchid Notary, 206-683-2636. Tell me where, I'll meet you there. Well, March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, and my guest today is a colon cancer survivor, and her name is Charla Murphy. Welcome to the show, Charla. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing just fine. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Great.
Well. Thank you for asking.
Great.
You look wonderful.
Thank you.
I've seen a couple different pictures of you, and I say, oh, wow, here's another one. All right. Go on, girl. We do that.
Yes, we do. Let me try to get my camera centered. Is that good?
That's perfect.
Okay.
Okay, so Charlotte, let's jump right into this. Tell us about your colorectal cancer journey. And what is it for those that may not know?
Colorectal cancer is two parts. It involves your small intestine, which would be considered your colon, and the rectal aspect, which would be your rectum, and also your obviously your rectum. So your anus and your rectum.
Okay.
So small intestine, anus, and rectum. And the colon, which is also the small intestine, consists of a couple different parts. The ascending colon, which would be the up part of the colon, the part that goes up. I forget what the part that goes over is called. I always forget that part. The part on the top, the part that goes down, that's called the descending colon. And then the part that connects to the rectum is called the sigmoid colon, which is where my cancer was.
Has anyone ever told you the length of our colons?
I believe it's about 6 feet.
Wrapped up in a little space.
Yeah.
Whew, amazing.
Yeah, and I believe the large intestine is bigger or longer, I should say.
I think I've heard that too, something like a football field or something.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yes. So what were your initial symptoms? Or just tell me how that whole thing started.
Okay, so how the whole thing started, it started about the mid to end of 2021. Just started with weight loss that really wasn't noticeable to me. Just when people would see me that hadn't seen me in a while, they would, I've always been a small woman. Okay. So, when people would see me, they would be like, oh, you look smaller. And, so I just really started losing a lot of weight. And then
Charla. So when they were telling you about you look smaller, did you feel it in your clothes?
I started feeling it in my clothes. Yes. And then around COVID, I started losing a lot more weight, and then I was also having blood in my stool, and I was having loss of appetite, and I was kind of attributing that to I wasn't really eating right, and I had been drinking a little bit more than I normally should have been. So I thought, okay, maybe I'm drinking too much. So I kind of attributed that to my unhealthy lifestyle. I had change in my bowel movements. I wasn't using the bathroom quite as much as I should have been. Then I had started having severe cramping, like, oh, my stomach is hurting really bad, like not a normal stomach ache. Then when I would use the restroom, when I would have a BM, I would have thinning of my stool. So it would be really thin, really thin. And then the cramping got so bad that I couldn't stand it. Brenda. I was doubled over.
Oh my.
And so one night, I was really thinking, I was like, wow, I couldn't remember the last time I had a bowel movement. It had got really that bad. And so I laid down on my bed, and I was massaging my stomach, like, maybe I can try to, massage my stomach, have my heating pad on my stomach. And then I felt something in my side. And that made me really just go directly to the ER. That's what sent me to the
was
ER.
it large? Was it hard?
Yeah, it was large. Yeah. Yeah. It was just a lump that I know should not have been there.
Right.
And I thought maybe it was just like a blockage. I was not thinking cancer.
Right. That's the last thing we would think.
Right.
So you went to the ER, and when you gave them your symptoms, what did they say?
They really didn't say anything. They gave me some pain medication. They sent me up to have a CT scan. And what the CT scan found just was like thickening of the walls of the colon. They really couldn't tell me anything, but they could see something in there, but they could not see necessarily cancer. But they saw something in there that was alarming, that needed to be further investigated.
So did they keep you in the hospital to do that?
No, they also what they found was I was really obviously backed up with stool. So they just gave me a referral to get a colonoscopy, and they gave me lots of laxatives, and they put me on a liquid diet. So, clear liquid pudding, stuff like that, applesauce, Jello, those types of things.
Right.
And that was in April of 2022. And I didn't get in to get a colonoscopy until June of 2022.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I had a couple of months to really think on it.
That was because they couldn't schedule you in for one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So then when you went in June, what tests were okay? So you had a colonoscopy, and what did they find?
So that was June 6th of 2022, June 7th, I'm sorry, of 2022. They rolled me out, because it's a very short process. They rolled me in, rolled me out, and my doctor came back, once I woke up, and the doctor came back in, and he was like, yeah, I saw cancer in there. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, there's cancer in there. And I was like, and he was like, well, I have to get it, send it to get a biopsy, but I'm almost certain it's cancer, but we'll call you to confirm. So I went home. They called me the next day and gave me confirmation that it was cancer. So that was June 8th. So I was confirmed that it was cancer on June 8th of 2022, and that I wouldn't be able to know what stage it was in until I had surgery.
And wow, I can only imagine what you were feeling.
I was in shock. I
Yeah.
was numb. I was numb. And the tumor was so big that they couldn't even get the the scope past it to get to the rest of my colons, because like I said, it was down towards the anus and the rectum, so right at the beginning, and they couldn't get the scope up there to look at the rest of my colon. So I really didn't even know if there was something else up there until I could get a follow-up after that part was removed.
So that probably explains why your bowel movement was thin.
Yes.
Because there was something blocking it.
Blocking it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
So that is a major symptom, people. If your bowel movement, your stool is thin, that is a major symptom.
Wow. So is it like thin and solid?
It's thin like toothpaste.
Oh, okay. Wow. Well, I got a good visual on that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. So what was the first step in your treatment? Well, so you had surgery. How long after this did you get surgery?
So that was June 8th. I got surgery on July 12th.
Wait a minute. Why so long?
That's just when I could get in for surgery. Mm-hmm. So that was almost a month and a half.
Did you have a second opinion?
A month and a week.
Did you have a second opinion?
No, I didn't get a second opinion because I just kind of felt like I had to get it out, and the soonest I could get it out was the best for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. I just want my
knew,
listeners to know that don't be afraid to get a second opinion.
A second opinion, yes.
Because it's really crucial.
It is crucial.
As well as having someone with you when you're getting these diagnoses. So, because sometimes when we're in a situation which is sort of traumatizing, we may not hear everything that the doctor's saying. So it's always good to have someone with you who can take notes and then tell you later when you have your conversation. And I say that from experience because my cousin had breast cancer and I was her patient advocate for 5 years. And
that's great.
Rarely remembered what was said. So
yeah, that's great. And I also urge people to take your phone and record the appointments, because then you can go back and listen to, and even if you have virtual appointments, because I have 2 devices. So I put my phone up to my iPad, or if my appointment is on my phone, I just record on my iPad, my phone. So I have it, so I can go back and listen to it.
Sure, that makes sense. That's a great idea. We are in modern technology, so
yeah.
Might as well put it to use.
Yeah.
So you had surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the first step in your treatment plan?
Okay, so the surgery that I had was called a colon resection. So they cut the tumor out, and they just kind of sectioned they cut, the tumor out and cut the margins, where they thought the cancer cells, where it would be. And they cut out the lymph nodes that were affected, if any, which I did have lymph nodes that were affected. So that also was part of the staging process. And so they cut out about 1 foot of my small intestine.
Whoa.
So the next stage was getting chemo, so seeing the oncologist. So at that point, I hadn't seen an oncologist yet. So I saw an oncologist after my surgery. So at that point, before that, I was only dealing with my surgeon and my gastroenterologist.
Okay.
Or yeah, surgeon and my gastroenterologist, which was the person that did the colonoscopy. So
How
now,
large was the tumor?
I'm sorry.
Did they tell you how large was the tumor?
I think it was 5 centimeters. Yeah, so it was pretty big. And it intruded 2 of my lymph nodes, which put me at stage 3. So if it intrudes any of your lymph nodes,
okay,
that's a stage 3.
Wow.
But it's going to get kind of complicated. The story is going to get kind of complicated because I actually was a stage 4 because it had already intruded my liver and my ovaries that they missed.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
And they missed that because they couldn't get all the way up to.
No, it was on the original CT scan that they did at the hospital, that the doctors looked at, but the oncologist told me that the spot on my liver was, I think he said, a fatty deposit,
Mm-hmm.
and not to worry about it,
Mm-hmm.
or calcium or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then he told me that what was on my ovary was a fibroid and a follow-up with my my PCP, my general, my doc, my
primary
regular
care physician.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So started chemotherapy. Started chemotherapy, and I had with the chemotherapy for 6 months. And that chemotherapy, that was 21 days. Every 21 days, I would go for infusion, up at Swedish Cancer Institute. And then I would take a oral chemotherapy at home for 14 days. And I did that for 6 months.
After the 21 or during the 21?
During the 21. So,
wow.
So the 21 days, 21 days, then I would go to the hospital, and then, so actually after, I'm sorry. So after, so I would start the oral after, as soon as I got home from the infusion.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah. So did you have any complications? I mean, you had enough going on for sure, and then they're missing something.
Yeah, so I did have complications. So this is where these missed spots come in. So after the 6 months, after the 6 months of chemotherapy, I got finished with chemotherapy end of January of 2023. Then I was off for a month. And then I had to go for a follow-up colonoscopy just so that they could check and make sure the treatment worked.
Mm-hmm.
Follow-up CT scan. These are just to make sure the treatment worked, everything was gone. Went to colonoscopy, everything was great. They were able to get all the way up there. Colon was clear, great. Went to get my follow-up CT scan. Whoopsie, there's the spot on your liver. Oh, it changed and it grew, and now it changed shape and it grew. And now we need to do that. They want to do an ablation, which means, they want to kind of cauterize it. And and also they will biopsy it to double check and make sure and see if it was cancer.
So that's another surgery.
And then simultaneously, this thing on my ovary is killing me, Brenda. Like, hurting me so bad to the point where I cannot stand up.
Oh, gosh.
It's hurting so bad. And it's growing to the point where it's bulging out of my side.
What?
Bulging out of my side. And I had been telling my oncologist that my side is hurting, And he's like, oh, it's probably just residual pain from your surgery. So it was hurting so bad that I had to go to the emergency room. They ended up admitting me. This is after I got so kind of back up a little. This is after I got the ablation and confirmation that this is cancer. So I already knew that I was going to have chemotherapy again. Go to the hospital because of this bulging thing on my side. Then, they admit me. Then a gyne oncologist comes and sees me at the hospital. He tells me that it's probably cancer and that they're going to have to do a full hysterectomy on me.
Because one ovary is affected.
It's so big that they can't even tell if it's attached to my ovary, or fallopian tube, or my uterus.
Oh, wow.
So they're going to take everything.
Did you have it done?
Yeah, I had it done. And it was confirmed that it was, luckily it wasn't ovarian cancer, because then that would have been, I would have had to be treated for, this was, the one on my liver was metastasized colon cancer. So that was treated, with my colon cancer oncologist. But if this was ovarian, then I would have had to been treated with a gynecologist oncologist. But it was metastasized colon cancer, so I was still being treated the same way.
So where are you now in your journey?
So I did the 6 months of chemotherapy. I did a different treatment plan this go around. 6 months of that. Had a month off, just like the first time. I just got finished with that chemotherapy at the end of January. I just went back on Wednesday or Thursday to have my follow-up CT scan, and they found another spot on my liver. So they don't know for sure. And it's actually in the same spot where they found the spot before. So it's a high probability that it is another metastasized colon cancer. So I have to have a PET scan, which is a different type of a scan where they inject, instead of a contrast, they inject some type of a sugar, and they put you in it's a different type of an X-ray, and it'll pick up any cancers in your body. And if it lights up, then it's cancer. So I'll go for that. Hopefully shortly. I'm waiting for them to call back and let me know when I'm going to have that. So that's where I am now.
Wow.
I've already had 2 diagnoses, and if this is metastasized, then this will be the 3rd.
So Charla, what's keeping you motivated and going?
Motivated and going is definitely my kids. Definitely my kids. My daughter, she's enlisted in the Navy. I'm so proud of her.
Okay.
She's like my joy. I am just so proud of her. My son, he is living in California. He's doing his thing as a mechanic. I just want to see them, continue to prosper. I'm just not ready to let them go. So that's just what's keeping me going right now.
That is wonderful. And
Mm-hmm.
you are blessed to have a family like that. And that,
Yes, yes.
so
Mm-hmm.
I want to say that you automatically have my prayers, and may God bless you and take care of you. If you ever just want to talk, please feel free to call me.
Yes, yes. Thank
Um,
you, Brenda. I
you know,
appreciate that.
I can be your support system and just a little corner, whatever. But if you ever want to talk, please, please feel free to call me, because
Thank
I
you,
know
Brenda.
how important that is.
Yeah, it is very important to have a support system. I agree. And I have, my family, my friends. I've had, the community has completely and totally embraced me. I'm in my Bible. I'm going to church with my dad, and the church family has embraced me. I'm just so really blessed, and I love it. I'm happy. I'm very happy.
Have you gotten involved with Sierra Sisters?
I did go to the breast cancer event at Langston Hughes, and I
Mhm.
think that's where we met.
That is,
Yeah, that's where we met.
yeah.
And then my I have my sister. She's got my sister. We have some relatives in common. Lanita Carroll.
Mhm.
She and I are very close. So I'm connected through to Sierra Sisters through her.
Mhm.
So she sends me reminders for the events for Sierra Sisters. So I would definitely like to be more involved with them. And then I'm also involved with the Colon Cancer Alliance with Brianna Merker and their Walk to End Colon Cancer and things like that. So I'm definitely trying to get involved as much as I can with different organizations and staying busy and giving back where I can and educating where I can.
I love it. So
Mhm.
I introduced Lanita to Sierra Sisters, so I'm glad to see she's passing it on.
Oh yes, she definitely is.
Our time is up, but Charla, would you come back, maybe in a couple of weeks or whenever feels comfortable for you?
Oh yes, I definitely will. Yes.
Because I think this is something that my audience needs to hear, and maybe they are experiencing something and not knowing. So maybe this will like say, okay, maybe I should go check this out.
Yes, yes. I would love to be invited back.
You will.
Hmm.
Okay, so this is the end of the show. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for all my viewing and listening audience, Patrice Isley, my music, and my special guest, Charla Murphy. Have a great weekend, be safe, and live your life like it's golden. We'll be talking, Charla.